Happy Thursday. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hacking Self Storage. Today is a really, really good, well, I'll say good episode. Who knows? I'm just recording now. Hopefully, it's a good episode. I've actually done something I don't normally do, and I've prepared loads of notes. Can you believe it? I've actually had preparation for this episode. So, I have been getting an ungodly amount of messages asking me what system I am using, what software I am using for my manless facility, for the new manless facility. And by the way, and that's not to say that I don't like the messages. I love the messages. Been doing some voice notes back to people today. So yeah, I really, really appreciate all the messages. Don't ever stop sending me messages. I absolutely love them. I read them all. So thank you so much. And this is something that I wanted to address. And I wanted to do it justice because people ask me what I'm using and why I'm using it, what software. Originally, we have been using Space Manager. So we've got 3 sites up and running at the minute. We've got 2 on Space Manager, and we have got one. Are you ready for it? One on Stora. And people have been asking me, why have we been using Stora? What is the reason we've gone with Stora? And so I'm going to tell you things I like about Stora, and I'm going to tell you the improvements that that I believe Stora is going to make and should make. And actually, the great thing is Gavin is coming on the podcast on Friday. So I'm recording the episode tomorrow. And I genuinely can't wait to speak to him. So that episode will be released on Friday. I'm recording it on Wednesday morning. When I'm recording it now, is Tuesday evening. I don't know why I'm telling you it's Tuesday evening when I'm recording it, but there we go. Trying to be open and honest. Right. So why did I choose Stora? The simple answer, this is going to sound really geeky and nerdy and like fanboy-y, but I don't care. I believe Gavin is an OG of self-storage, original gangster. I really believe in Gavin as a CEO, as a founder, and I can't wait to see what he develops. Even after the original, I find that he captivates me when he talks, and I almost like. It's like a charismatic leader. I believe anything he tells me. I'm ready to go into war for the guy. I'm like, all of a sudden, the first conversation we had was a long time ago, and it was about an idea for this software, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's going to go far. And so I want to be partnering with Gavin because I believe what he can create, what he can bring, and just how much what his vision is. I believe that I want to be connected to that in some way, shape, or form, because I know without doubt from my heart of hearts, within 5 years, this will be the software that has everything for you. Now, obviously, when you start a software, there's no way that Gavin can have all the bells and whistles that every other software platform has out there. It's impossible. You can't just release it with everything there. So you've got to listen to your audience, listen to your customers, and then build what they need. And so me getting in early with Gavin, the reason why I'm using it is, number one, obviously I want to support Gavin. I want to be a part of it because I think he's an OG. I think his vision for self-storage is amazing. But not only that, I can almost craft and tell Gavin what I want, what I need, and Gavin will take that on board. And we're almost, as early adopters to this platform, we are almost creating the platform for us. So if I want something, Gavin is going to be all ears because I'm a customer. And therefore, he wants to help customers. And so he wants to adopt our ideas. Not that saying that every single idea that people put out there that he'll use, but he'll definitely take it on board. And so for me to have that, I mean, at the minute, I love Space Manager as well. I think I'm a big fan of Space Manager, and the Space Manager do a lot for us in terms of reports. However, I pay for them reports. I pay for extra reports. I must have paid 10 grand in extra reports to build them out at the minute with Space Manager, and which is fine because there's a value to me. We're saving money, we're saving time, and so there's a value for me there. However, with Stora, I believe that we've got a chance to mold the platform to exactly what we want. And with our input as customers, as early adopters, Gavin will take on board. So they're the first few reasons. The main reason is because I believe in Gavin. I believe in his dream. And this isn't an infomercial for Gavin whatsoever. I'm not being paid at all by Gavin, by Stora. One penny. And so I've got no financial interest one way or another, but I just believe in the mission. I believe in what Gavin's putting out there. I believe that the software market needed disruption. And I believe that to be honest, you didn't have to be amazing to be the best in the business. I was talking to people in America, and people can't believe how poor our software is in the UK. Now, I've got no A versus B split testing, so I don't know if they're correct or if we just do things a different way and they're not used to it. So people don't like change, people don't like what they're used to. But I know, for example, Anne Ballard, when she looked at all my reports, etc., she was like, "Oh my God, Dean, how are you guys so behind the times with your reports and stuff? And you haven't got this report, you haven't got that report. How do you even function?" I was like, "Oh my God, I've got loads of reports. What do you mean I've got enough reports?" And she was saying, "Dean, honestly, you want to get an American software." And we looked at American software, and I know a few people in England do use the American versions of the software, but for me, I just preferred having a local company, a UK based company, because I know I could pick up a phone. Where in America, different time zones and stuff, and so yeah, I just felt it better. Whether it's better or not, I don't know. All I can say is what Anne Ballard said, that we're a million miles behind. So I do believe with everything in self-storage, we needed some disruption because everybody's got it too easy. I've got it too easy. You've got it too easy as operators, as owners. We've all got it so easy. And the problem is we don't know we've got it easy until times get harder. When times get harder, we realize are more competitive. That's when we realize and look back and think, oh yeah, we had it easy. I believe that ultimately in self-storage, a software doesn't need to be good. An operator doesn't need to be good. An owner doesn't need to be good to make it profitable. And so at the minute, I believe that anybody starting self-storage is an opportunity because you can just be a better operator and you can maximize revenue, etc. Exactly the same as a software. So I really believe in Gavin's mission. I believe in what he's doing. So they're the first few bits. What else do I like about it? I love the dashboard. That was the first thing when Gavin showed me many months ago. Or it might have been a year ago. The dashboard was amazing. There's nothing like that out there. The dashboard is a simple homepage, page you can log on, and it tells you so many different things. It tells you the rate per square foot you are currently getting, which it's wonderful just to see. It's there. It is there. It tells you the recurring revenue. It tells you the occupancy. It tells you, and it's got a graph for the last however many days, weeks, or whatever you say it to. For me, I love that. I love just clicking on dashboard, and I can see within a second, I can see a screen that tells me all the information that I need to see. So I love that. What else I think is beneficial? I think for somebody who coming into self-storage, it is an absolute no-brainer that you should use Stora. If you are coming into the industry fresh and haven't got any current connections to any software provider, it's a no-brainer. You should use Stora because it's so simple, it's so easy, it integrates, the website's already set up for you. Now, do I think you can do a better version of a website yourself? Yes. I'm not currently using Gavin's website just purely because I'm a bit of an OCD. I spent, Jesus Christ, my website's cost me over 20 grand. And I've gone A versus B tests, and I've done so many split tests and stuff to make sure it's optimized for conversion. I've also had a copywriter. I paid 5 grand for a copywriter to go through to make sure we're absolutely spot on for SEO purposes, for conversions, for optimization. I've done the works. I've made sure that it is the very, very best. And don't anybody go and look at my website now because it is going to get better because we're currently paying somebody extortionate amount of money to get it better at the minute. So, I believe that for the normal person, the website is absolutely fine. It saves you money. It's done for you. But if you are in a competitive market, for example, we're in a big city, Hull, then I need a really good website. So for me, the website is fantastic. It's great. It connects. You can do all the payments. You can do everything like that. I think it's fantastic. I think it's brilliant. And I use that back end of the system, back end of the software, but I use my own website. And that's a great thing with Stora. You don't have to take their website. You can take part of it. You can take all of it. You can take what you like. And other software providers don't give you that website. They don't give you a website. Gavin's giving you a website that he knows converts as well. But by the way, he's obviously run his own self-storage facility and he knows the website converts. So it's not as a poor website at all. It's just that I'm OCD and I have the world's best designers. I use Studio One Design, by the way. We've done a podcast interview with Greg Merrill's StudioOneDesign.com. I use them for a design and build, and they to me are terrific. Just if anybody ever goes to them, just tell them Dean sent you. And not that I don't actually get anything back, but I hopefully get a bit of goodwill from them and a discounting price next time I use them again. So yeah, that's another thing I like. The payment system is integrated. That again, is wonderful. It massively helps. It sets it all up for you, and payments are taken as and when the customers need to. So I love that. And you can do monthly payments or 4 weekly payments. So whatever suits you. The contract can be signed by Signable. You don't have to integrate all that separately as well. It's all done for you. The basis is here that it can be manless. Charging people. It charges people every 4 weekly and monthly, but not only that, it chases people for late payments. Gavin has what's the word when you chase people? Anyway, I've forgotten. God, my mind's gone blank. So it can. Nearly had it then. It basically chases people who haven't paid. Nearly had it again, top of my tongue. Anyway, I'm going to be listening to this thinking, you idiot. And so it chases people straight away for you. So you don't have to worry about people not paying. Gavin has a delinquency. Yes, delinquency, done it. He has 0 in the last 9 months or something. It was 0. I'm like, oh my God. I wish it was 0. We're very, very good because we have a rigorous chasing up platform that we use. We literally, I think we're at less than 1% of our total revenue, which in America it's between 1% and 3% is acceptable. If it's below 3%, it's acceptable. I'm thinking 3% of your total revenue on delinquencies. Absolutely not. Anyway, so ours is really, really good because we have a great procedure, a debt procedure where Gavin's is 0 because the software will automatically try to take payment from their card, which is a lot better than the direct debit. Don't get me wrong, there is a cost by that because you've got to pay a store cost for every single transaction that is taken, a percentage. It's not much, but it's still there. And also you've got to pay a card fee as well. Is it 1.4%, somewhere like that? Anyway, I think I'm right. So that for me is another plus. ID, because for self-storage, for self-storage association approved, we have to have ID checks. So whether it's a passport, whatever, I've looked into building that and doing that myself. What a nightmare with Yachty and all that lot. It's individual costs. Again, with Gavin, you don't have to integrate any of that. It's done for you. Now, I thought it'd be only fair that I talk about things that I don't want to come across and just say, oh yeah, Stora is great, blah, 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 blah. Because it's a new platform, it's a new software. There is going to be improvements that people need to see. Now, you know me and what I'm like with my figures. I am anal with data and figures. And one thing I think is missing right now, and this is one question that I'm going to ask Gavin tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. When are the reports ready? Because I believe for a self-storage operator, we need reports. And don't get me wrong, I know that I'm a person who probably looks at too many reports. I love my data. I love analyzing it. And yes, one could say that I get down in the weeds a little bit too much with the data. And you probably don't need to go as far as I do with it. But do you know what? I enjoy it. I really enjoy looking at the data, seeing how we can improve the conversion rates from this to that, and how it was this time last year, how many quotes we got, how many people moved in, and the comparison. So I would like to know about reports. At the minute, I believe that Stora can improve with the reporting and the follow-up process as well, because at the minute we have a thing called on Space Manager diary date. So, for example, we can input do a callback 1 on such and such a day, and then it comes on your diary on that day to do a callback 1 for that person. We can, and then we can leave notes, and then we can set a callback 2, callback 3, whatever it is. We can have a whole follow-up process. At the minute, I could be wrong, but I've been through the whole software for today for this podcast. I've done my research, and I don't see anything like that for Stora. And I know it's coming. And so that is where I think the improvements can be made. But overall, I think it's a wonderful product, and I'm super excited by what the product is going to be. And so if anybody out there is looking at, you don't even have to have a manless facility. Whether you're manless or not, this is a software for you if you are new to the industry, because it takes away so much man hours, so much manpower that I think is incredible. But not only that, I'll tell you one thing that I really like. So at the minute, the last 8 days, again, being really brutally honest with you, we've done 21 reservations for Willoughby. We've done 0 for Clough Road. Clough Road is a new manless facility. Don't get me wrong, the website isn't fully set up. There's Google My Business page. We're having a problem with that. So there's improvements to be made. We can get better. but it's still a concern for me. And one of the big differences is that we're showing our prices on the website. And I'm just worrying if that is the situation, that we're not converting because people are comparing my prices to other people's prices and not understanding that we have a 5-star facility and the self-storage facility they're comparing their prices with is a 1-star facility. So I'm just a little bit concerned that the conversions, we should be doing more. We should 100% be doing more. So I got in touch with Gavin and I said, Gavin, look, can we improve? What are we doing? And Gavin literally he cares. Ultimately, the message I'm trying to get across is he genuinely cares. He sent me a real awesome email saying this, and this. And I was like, oh, wow, that is incredible. That is really, really good. I appreciate it. And so the feedback is phenomenal. And this guy knows storage. He understands storage. He understands customers. He understands me and you as operators. So if it sounds like I'm a big fanboy of Gavin, I 100% am. I'm a little bit, I'm massively embarrassed saying it. I think the team he's set up as well now are phenomenal. And the funding they've got, I just can't wait to see what happens with Stora. I am so bullish about Stora, even so much so that somebody I know, I said, listen, who's a wealthy individual, I said, you need to get into Stora. I don't know how you can invest some way, shape or form, but you've got to talk to this guy. This guy is going to revolutionize the way the self-storage facility, the industry is, the software part of it. And so, yes, I am a fanboy, but I don't think at the minute it is for everybody. For me personally, I think that if you've got a current site and you're operating with not showing your prices and you've got a sales process, callback 1, callback 2, callback 3, I'm gonna hit Gavin with these questions tomorrow because I don't want to be a fanboy and say, "Oh, Gavin, tell me all about Stora." But yeah, so at the minute, I believe it will get there 100%. But at the minute, I believe if you have a follow-up process, a rigorous follow-up process like we do, and you've already implemented it, you've already got software, then me personally, we're just going with one software at the minute. We're going with Stora for one site. The rest of it, we're keeping with Space Manager just because we like the follow-up process that we can do. We like the control we've got with reports. But as soon as the reports are there for Stora, there's no reason whatsoever why we wouldn't go across at all. So it's like everything. Not everything is for everybody just yet. But I'm excited about the future. I think this is going to be a massive. I think this is going to be game changing, and without a doubt, within 2 to 5 years, it'll blow away every other software provider. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about the future of it, and I just like to be on the ground floor because I hopefully can mold it to what I want it to be as well. From a selfish point of view, I want to have some input and. I'm not special. I'm not more special than anybody else, but I'm sure that Gavin and the team listen to feedback from everybody. And so I want some input of what this could be like. And yeah, I see massive big things for it. So yeah, there we go. There's my thoughts. That's why I chose Stora. I feel, do you know what? When I do these podcasts, I feel a bit uneasy because I obviously never want to upset Gavin. And so therefore, I want to be very, very careful. Like just now I'm feeling like I feel a bit, I've said that it's not for everybody. But then equally, I also don't want to be too fanboy and saying, oh my God, this is amazing software. Everyone's got to use it. And so I've got to try and balance it. So I have got a really, really tough job tomorrow morning when I'm doing the interview. When we're actually doing the interview and it's released on Friday, I'm going to have a tough job because ultimately I'm a massive believer in the product. But what I've got to do is I've got to put myself in the customer's point of view and I've got to ask the questions that you guys want me to ask. So I know that the criticism sometimes is leveled at me when I do interviews that I'm a fanboy of whoever's on. And the reason why that is because the reason I've got them on is because I believe in them, because I've used them and they're suppliers for me for whatever, whether it's Willbox, whether it's I'm going to have an asset finance guy on soon, whether it's Kerry, whoever it is. Dave Davies, yeah, I can come across a fanboy because I use them, so I know they're good. And so, but I do take it on board, the criticism, and think, yeah, do you know what? I need to be a little bit more, not aggressive, but I need to be more challenging in some way, shape, or form, and ask the questions that you want me to ask. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm trying to improve, and obviously, I've never been trained in interviewing, so we'll see how it goes anyway. So there are the reasons that I use Stora. I'm a massive fan, as you can tell, but there's certainly improvements to be made along the way. And I'm sure that Gavin would agree with that as well. So yeah, that is it. That's me over and out. And I'm looking forward to speaking to Gavin tomorrow morning, and that'll be out on Friday. See you soon, guys. Thank you. Love you. Appreciate you. Ta-da.